Where's a good story when you need one? Escape from Midnight Castle? No. Nothing can stop the Smooths? Oh, hey there now! The Last Unicorn! What a classic tale! Heck, it's one of the only tales of the unicorn that actually gets the tail design right. I mean, seriously, why don't other unicorn OCs in our community have this tale? Or know about it, for that matter?
Actually, I've known about it since I was a filly.
Holy Topaz! Intruder!
The odd thing is, I was born a Pegasus. I guess my tail grew out longer than my body. Just one of the joys of being me. Hey, what you doing up there? Did I actually scare you?
Yes, you did, and a good thumping job of it, too! So, you're an alicorn, eh? Oh, this is awesome! I can finally study one without having to sneak into the castle and get past all the guards for a feather or mane sample!
Say what? Look, maybe we got off the wrong hoof. Paw? I swear, what is it with me and socializing with wolves these days? My name is Lightning Bliss. I've heard quite a bit about you, Starling. I'm sorry if I'm intruding, but I just couldn't help but notice you're holding one of my favorite Philly movies in your paw.
Pleasure to meet you too, Lightning. I've heard quite a lot about you too. And no kidding, eh? Well, this happens to be one of my favorite books as a pup. I used to hear it most nights before bed.
A tale of finding your own kind to discovering what else life has to offer?
A tale of fantasy, romance, and adventure?
You can see how she sparkles. It's the last unicorn. You are my kind of wolf. Hey, if you aren't busy, want to share your thoughts on the story, movie with me? I kind of been dragging my tail on wanting to review some of my favorite childhood movies as of late.
It would be an honor, Lightning Bliss, especially with a fellow fan of the story. So as me and Lightning here have said, we'll be looking at this wonderfully classic tale by Peter S. Beagle and adapted into a movie by Rankin Bass Productions.
It had me at the music. That beautiful intro by the band Americas. But if that doesn't keep you focused enough, then the beautiful animation and stop-motion backgrounds will. This form of animation is a dying art, I hate to say. The entire film and story is told through brilliantly detailed, hand-done artwork and animation style. I am not talking Flash. I'm not talking Adobe Premiere. I'm talking Disney style, page to page.
Exactly. This movie was a masterpiece that sadly is very underappreciated for the time and effort that went into it. Much like its equally brilliant book, the adaptation follows pretty accurately to the original work and breathes life with astounding animation, coloring, musical pieces, and impressive themes that you carry for years to come. In fact, this was one of the first animated films I ever saw, and it brought me both wonder and joy to see it again and again.
Can't argue with that. Ever since I was 5, it would be in my daily routine of movies to watch. It was one of those movies to introduce me to the idea of magic, fantasy, and imagination. But it was not without its charm and creative characters, and a fascinating plot that I believe older viewers could still enjoy today. Even though I was a child watching this, however, this movie was not without its adult themes. We follow the quest of the last unicorn of her race, trying to find the others and where they have gone, and on her journey, she encounters her first taste of mortality by being captured, terrified, and trapped in a world that isn't her own, and experiencing romance for the first time, not to mention the taste of evil with witches, kings, and other immortal beings.
Like that terrifying Red Bull! Sweet Nelly, that thing was horrifying!
Come on, we're adults. That Red Bull ain't scary no more.
Oh, really now? Then you wouldn't mind if I put this up?
Don't let it get me! Don't let it get me! I don't want to go into the ocean! I don't want to be part of the sea!
Whoa. Lightning, what in Celestia's name are you doing? Calm down!
I'm escaping the Red Bull! It loves to eat lion tails!
Okay then. You do that. Anyway, this story not only goes through all those scenes, but also tells a flawless telling of the world of innocence and the world of experience journey. A creature as pure as the unicorn herself, going on a journey, seeming to be wise and full of experience, but when on her quest she is no longer within the safety of her forest and is having to rely on the kindness and experience of mortals to make her way to her goal. And in the end, she must come to terms with and accept the harsh realities of life, which forces her to be unable to return to her once innocent self.
Indeed. For all her immortality and wisdom, the character of the unicorn, or I should say Lady Amalthea, is not without its imperfections. She tends to come off as cocky or ignorant since she is in fact immortal and has the power to do almost anything at her will. But when she experiences enslavement for the first time, to her life being in mortal danger, she doesn't understand how this experience could happen to her and can only focus on the goal at hook, which surprisingly becomes confusing when she is forced into another form, a mortal woman, in order to avoid the villain that is the Red Bull, which is being controlled by the insane King Haggard. Oh, by the way, guess who's the voice actor of the king?
No idea. Who?
It's none other than Christopher Lee himself. May he rest in peace. Yeah, believe it or not, there are some pretty well-known voice actors here in the movie. It's surprising it didn't have a big fan base on its release like it currently has today.
I agree with you on both parts. While it is a breathtaking film, the movie was not as successful as many others that were shown at the time, such as The Secret of NIMH. On top of this, the movie was not advertised as well as it could have, and was marketed as a children's movie, even with its darker tones and scenes.
If anything, the dark tones and slightly adult themes made it a little too sensitive for children at the time. I mean, let's face it, a tree with female parts, some strong verbal cusses here and there, not to mention some violent fighting scenes that are worthy of a live-action film. The movie was advertised as a children's film, but could have done better if it were made to be a PG-13 rating. But in this day and age, I would say the movie's relatively safe to watch. It really depends on the family.
Exactly. It was like with Watership Down. Poor marketing and misadvertisement made the film do pretty poorly. Though, in our day and age, it's a pretty harmless film. The one thing The Last Unicorn has that Watership Down doesn't is a brilliant musical soundtrack.
Oh, don't get me started! From the intro theme to the Red Bull attack and even the duet with Prince Lear, the soundtrack is breathtaking and will leave you on the edge of your seat. The music holds a vibe of fantasy, adventure, romance, and even fear. It has a balance of vocals and instruments together, leading the viewer into the tale as we go. From speaking of the unicorn herself to her journey, and even a song about finding her way through love. I want to snuggle my hubby now.
Well said, Lightning. In my case, I liked more the dark themes of some of the songs that were alluring and intriguing to hear more about the journey, like Man's Road. It carried a touch of hope through fear of all that is unknown on the journey and the challenges ahead that just connected with me instantly as a pup.
If it didn't intrigue you as a kid back then I highly recommend you check it out now. If you want a good journey animation film with a hint of romance and live action inspired combat scenes mixed with fantasy and mystery, then this is the movie for you. It's been one of my favorites since I was a foal and is still for me as a grown mare to this day.
As for me, I would recommend it to all ages, but especially to family and parents who want to experience a breathtaking tale together. As well, any hopeful writers and future fantasy creators, the imagination and beauty that this world offers will no doubt inspire creativity in your mind.
Like it's already done for me, apparently. Seriously, why don't other unicorns have this kind of tale style? I wasn't even born a unicorn and I have it. It's a traditional unicorn tale. Every pony seems to forget the actual form of a unicorn. Body of a horse, head of a deer, single horn, cloved hooves, and a lion's tail. How hard is that to remember?
While I would like to hear more about this over tea, why don't we sign off and then talk about unicorns for you and dragons for me? Sound fair?
If you got chocolate milk, I'm game.
When the last eagle flies over the last crumbling mountain, and the last lion roars at the last dusty fountain, in the shadow of the forest stare, unbelieving that the last